welcome to magicreviewed.com. You may notice a slight difference in my camera angle. The new videos will look like this, mainly because if you look behind me, I moved my Mac over to that table. I got rid of that other computer, moved it to the other room, and so now where I used to put my iPhone right on top of the Mac and do these videos, I can't do that now because it's over there. And I don't want to sit over there and move my laptop and everything over there, so I only sit over there if I'm using the Mac. Anyway, so the angle's a little different. It's a little bit lower, so there's a little bit more. My hands will show up in the screen a little bit more, which I think is a good thing, because there's been times where I'm trying to do little maneuvers in the camera and it was hard and awkward. Plus, I do gesture with my hands a lot, so hopefully this will help. Anywho, first video of the day. I'm filming 10 right now, back to back. But we got Foresight by Oliver Smith and Sansminds. I gave it 3.5 stars. Stone status of gem, little g. Overall, it's pretty solid. It does live up to the ad copy for the most part, but I'll tell you right now, take a close look at that picture of him holding the card with the cross on it. I would bet a nickel, at least, that is not actually the gimmick. That's where the ink moves, because if you look at it that close, it doesn't look that good. So that kind of bugs me a little bit. And the gimmick was a little bit of a pain in the butt to construct, and the instructions were not quite as clear as they should have been. So I actually screwed it up twice, and then finally I got the hang of what they were saying, and it makes more sense. So maybe I'm just an idiot. It could be that. I'm more than happy to admit that might have been the problem. But based on the instructions given, it was just a little unclear to me. And so I did have to redo the thing a couple of times. But I got it working well enough to know that the concept is true, but not good enough that I would actually use it in a show. And that's not because it doesn't do what they claim. It's just because I screwed up again on making the gimmick, and so it doesn't quite work right. But it's enough that I was able to prove that the concept does work. But you need a little bit of distance. This is not the kind of thing where you can do a few inches in front of their face. You do need a little bit of space to do this, but not much. I mean, I don't know. You know, if you're sitting at the table, or you got people sitting at a table, and you sort of back up a little bit. Sorry, I got a squeaky chair. And you hold it here and do the move. I think that's good enough. Also, to be clear, what you're really getting here, if you're familiar with a hot rod and the selection process for a hot rod, that's really what's going on here. You've got 6 cards laid out on a table. They each have a different ESP symbol on it. You have one selected using the hot rod method, and you ultimately have 2 outs. You have the cross and the square. If they happen to choose the cross, there is no moving ink effect at all. If they choose the square, then you show the cross and you go, oh, I screwed up, and then you make it magically move and turn into a square. So that's really what the effect is. Now, you don't have to use it that way, but that is the effect that they're teaching you on the DVD. The other thing, there was one other thing. Oh, you cannot hand out the card once the ink's been switched. Now, in the trailer you saw, they did hand it out. It's because you have to do that thing where you I don't want to say it, but you gotta trade stuff. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, try not to expose too much here, but you have to, you gotta secretly give them a different card. I guess I might as well just ruin it there, but anyway, the envelope does the work for you when it comes to that. You get an envelope with the DVD and the little things that you need to make the gimmick. So the envelope does do that for you, and it is a pretty clean thing, and so I think that's fine. But just to be clear, if you saw the ad copy, you might be, or the trailer, you might be expecting to be able to immediately hand it out, and that you cannot do that. So the reason I didn't give it a better rating than 3.5 stars. 1, it wasn't taught very well. It was a little bit confusing. 2, Chris, I don't know his last name, is the host, and he's really annoying, really hard to watch. I'm going to be reviewing another Sansminds product where he's the host, and he actually did a good job on this one. He wasn't as annoying. But I'm not going to totally dock a product because the host is annoying. But it's beyond just annoying. I mean, he's really like over the top, in your face annoying. It's pretty bad. It's hard to watch. But that aside, I'm not going to dock the whole product because of that. The other thing is because the gimmick is, it's not as clean as you would think it is by watching the ad trailer. When you do stuff on camera, you got lighting and all these different things, and you can control the environment. In a real world, you're going to need more control than you would have in a video type thing. So it's just not quite as clear and clean and as practical as you might think by watching the advertisement. But that said, it's still good. It's still doable. It can work, just in the right conditions. So that's it. 3.5 stars. Stone status of gem. Let's take a look at the random iTunes song of the moment today. We have... oh yeah. Don't Fear the Reaper by the Blue Oyster Cult. Excellent choice. Yes. I can't hear that song without thinking of Bill and Ted. I think it was their second movie, The Bogus Journey, where they cheated death. They literally played Twister with death to win, to beat death so they didn't have to die. When he showed up, they looked at each other and they said, dude, don't fear the Reaper. Anyway, speaking of Blue Oyster Cult, they also have a great tune called Astronomy, which Metallica did a cover of, which is awesome. Yes, Metallica covering Blue Oyster Cult. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. I got 9 more videos to make, so I'm going to shut up and move on. Thanks for watching. Peace and out.